I hope you get an illness and then get hit by a car and die.
Acting in Hollywood is a tough job.
You just wanted to make fun of me.
That's why some actors really take it to the extreme when preparing for a role.
Some of my ribs are sort of fused together a little bit.
But just how far is too far?
Oh, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Joaquin Phoenix. He's getting a lot of attention for his role in Joker. Not only did Joaquin have to lose 52 pounds for the role, he did other extreme things that went too far. According to Sci-Fi Wire, Joaquin was unpredictable on set. He had a tendency to go off script and even tried to refuse Robert De Niro's request for a table reading of the script before filming. Joaquin's stunt team and co-stars had to stay alert and prepared for unrehearsed action. Joaquin refused to rehearse in advance, which made stunts very tricky. That scene with the Wall Street guys on the subway took an unexpected turn when Joaquin's character started kicking at the guys who were supposed to be beating him up. That was not planned and rather dangerous. The actors had to roll with it. One even improvised the line, "We got a kicker, huh?" during the scene. Scarlett Johansson. Prep for her role for A Marriage Story was about as real and extreme as it gets, though not necessarily intentional. Scarlett Johansson's own heartache served as inspiration for her role of a mother going through a divorce. In fact, this movie hit pretty close to home for the actress. Scarlett herself was in the middle of her own complicated divorce while filming Marriage Story.
We talked about our own experience with divorce. We talked a lot about what it was like to co-parent.
This could be the reason she was so raw and vulnerable during the film, for which she earned an Oscar nomination. When the director of the film, Noah Baumbach, first pitched the movie to Johansson, he had no idea she was in the middle of her own divorce. Scarlett said she wanted to take the part because of her own personal struggle with this topic.
An
actual person who went through that specifically.
It's all, all parts of us are in there for sure.
Maybe she needed to work through her own pain and use the movie as sort of therapy. And she wasn't the only one who pushed it to the limit and felt some serious pain in that movie. Adam Driver. He punched and sobbed his way to the Oscars with a powerful performance opposite Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story, but the director revealed that Adam went too far when he hit the wall during that dramatic fight in the film. Upon revisiting the set, Noah Baumbach discussed that being in the room where the divorcing couple screamed terrible things at each other made him feel uneasy.
I was really taken with it as we were doing it.
He explained that every detail was an important component in this divorce quarrel, from the tables and the blank walls to the juice box on the floor, which represented their son's presence in their lives. Adam, Noah, and Scarlett had planned for Adam to punch the wall during the scene. They added a fake wall in front of the real wall. But by the end of filming that day, Adam had to hold an ice pack on his hand, which isn't all that surprising when you watch the rage in his body during that moment. That must have hurt pretty bad. Charlize Theron. When it comes to difficult roles and complicated characters, Charlize is the queen of the screen. She's gained weight for her roles in Monster and Tully, but she said the outside appearance is nothing if you don't have the truth of the character down. Charlize had to use prosthetic makeup for her role as Megyn Kelly in Bombshell to nail the look of this real-life person.
Because our eyes were just shaped so differently.
Since Kelly is so current and well-known, matching her look was crucial. But Charlize didn't stop there. She also sought the help of a vocal coach to mimic Megyn's voice.
But I worked with this incredible woman, Carla Meyer, in Los Angeles.
After being surprised at how intimidating her voice was on screen, Charlize credited Meyer as a huge part of her success in playing the role.
We just spent hours and hours kind of just listening to her voice and dissecting it and what it meant.
Noting the way Charlize dives fully into a role, some think she's a method actor, but she shoots that notion down with a resounding no. She tried the method acting approach with the 1997 film The Devil's Advocate. She recalls really going all the way with it. But she wound up so unhappy the entire time she was making the film that she gave up that approach. She gives 100% on set, but understands now that it's equally as important to switch off and go home to her kids and her dog. Renee Zellweger. She is nominated for an Oscar in her role as the iconic songstress of the screen, Judy Garland. It was incredibly important to Renee and the director, Rupert Gold, to be as authentic as possible when portraying this legendary lady. Rupert used live audiences for Renee's performances as Judy, and according to Renee, it was exhausting and stressful. She shared that the scene in which Judy is showing signs of stage fright backstage was real. Renee was feeling genuine terror at performing in front of the audience. She also spoke to Ellen about how the project aged her because it was so demanding. She said that they used a small amount of prosthetics and aging makeup to make her look like the singer whose hard life aged her before her time. Renee shared that by the final days of filming, the makeup artist had forgotten to put on aging makeup and they could hardly tell. Renee Zellweger said it was good that they had an authentic representation of the fatigue that Judy was feeling during that final year of her life. When asked if it was hard for Renee to put the character of Judy away when she was done filming, Renee responded,
"Oh, I never want to put her away. Never. Fell in love and I'm there to stay."
Florence Pugh. The little woman is getting a lot of attention for her role as Amy March in the Oscar-nominated film Little Women. She plays the youngest of the March women, a character with whom fans of the story have a love-hate relationship. Florence was apparently 2 weeks late for rehearsals for this film because of another film. The horror mystery film Midsommar really took an emotional toll on Florence. She called the film one of those beasts that took it out of you. It was a relief for her when she went on to play a child for a few months after such a heavy role. She said playing Amy was like therapy for her, giving her a much-needed chance to recover from the heaviness of Midsommar. She said she hadn't really thought about what she had just been doing until Midsommar came out. When she watched it for the first time, she realized, oh, that's why she had been extremely sad for a full year. George McKay. Imagine going to work and having to sprint past several explosions repeatedly as your job. Welcome to George McKay's world. During filming of 1917, they were at the mercy of the weather. They could only film when the clouds were covering the sun.
We did spend a lot of time second-guessing the weather.
So that meant when the opportunity arose, it was go time for McKay and the crew. He said that because they had a very finite window to get one particularly physical scene, which was him in a full sprint avoiding explosions, he had to do it over and over without a break. He said they just went again and again within that short time frame.
The rule is you don't stop unless they say stop.
He said his legs were shaking from running so hard for so many takes. Blake Lively. There's a reason Blake's character had to wear a bandage on her hand when she filmed her action movie, The Rhythm Section. During a choreographed fight scene with co-star Jude Law, Blake shattered her hand.
I was lunging at Jude to punch him very aggressively.
He went to block it, and they came in contact. When that happened, it was, as Blake describes,
it was a firework explosion of ligaments and bones and tendons and yeah.
Blake had to have 2 surgeries to fix her hand, and the production stopped for 6 months while she recovered. Blake had to wear a bandage on her hand for the rest of the production, which they justified with a glass hand injury that was added in to explain the real damage underneath. Jennifer Lopez. Originally, Jennifer was not supposed to do the whole pole dance routine in Hustlers. She told Jimmy Fallon during her Tonight Show interview that they had written the script so that she finishes her routine with a little final dance move as Constant Wu's character enters. But Jennifer insisted on having a full dance routine on stage. She trained hard and learned the moves. When it came time to film that scene, Jennifer dominated that dance number. But some people were asking if she had a dance double for that number. Jennifer was quick to say that it was all her. She said she even took pictures of her bruises from training on the pole.
I didn't know how to pole dance.
Skill, yeah.
It's like acrobats. It's like learning gymnastics or something, but with a pole.
Jennifer insisted on being the one to do the whole routine. She told the director, Lorene Scafaria, that she didn't care if she looked like a bat hanging upside down or if her face was scrunched. She told her to make sure she got Jennifer pole dancing on film. Rachel Brosnahan. The marvelous Mrs. Maisel actress may have tightened her corset too tight while filming her role as a 1950s housewife who turns to a life of stand-up comedy. Rachel shared with James Corden and RuPaul that she suffered a corset-related injury during her time on the show. She explained that since they talk so fast when they're saying their lines, that it's hard to take a lot of deep breaths.
And I think I wasn't breathing a lot and I was a little bit constrained.
This, combined with that super tight corset, caused some of her ribs to fuse together. Brosnahan added,
and I can't take super deep breaths anymore. That's fun.
Oh my goodness.
When the audience reacted to this, Rachel laughed, saying,
"It's really fine, guys." Champagne problems.
Jessica Chastain. What do you get when you mix a clown with an actress drenched in 4,500 gallons of fake blood? You get the movie It, Chapter 2. Jessica Chastain plays the adult version of Beverly Marsh in the terrifying sequel to It. At the European premiere of the film, Jessica shared the extreme measures the director pushed her to during the filming of one particularly messy scene.
4,500 gallons of fake blood. Woo! Right? Woo!
She revealed that she had to shoot that scene several times, which meant getting cleaned up and starting fresh. The director, Andy Muschietti, was apparently quite the perfectionist during filming.
I fully went in the blood, which I regretted a lot afterwards.
Jessica said that everything is much easier than making a movie with Andy Muschietti. She said every take you have to start again, and confessed that it was a lot, and that she was drowning in blood.
That's exactly, it was like swimming in a vat of lube.
Yeah.
Kristen Stewart. When you're doing your own stunts, anything can happen. That's what Kristen Stewart learned on the set of Charlie's Angels. She almost got seriously hurt doing a scene when she and her co-stars were being pulled by a rope to make it look like they were flying through the air from an explosion. Apparently, Kristen got pulled off the mat. Her co-stars were surprised and said that it was really dangerous. Kristen was pretty chill about it, but in reality, it could have meant a serious injury. Thankfully, she walked away with only a few bruises. So, which actor surprised you the most with their commitment to their role? Tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to The Taco for more.